The Secrets of Stargate is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give.
You're listening to The Secrets of Stargate, Episode 33.
Janet West, Jackson has identified the seventh symbol.
All right, here we go. We are about to try to make a connection.
All we gotta do is bust out of here, commandeer the ship, and fly on home.
Indeed. You say that a lot.
I know that this could be dangerous. But this is our job, right? It's what we signed on to do.
It was never about going home. It's about getting us to where we're going.
Hi, I'm Jack Berrezzini, and you're listening to The Secrets of Stargate, where we talk about the hidden meanings and deeper layers found in the Stargate movies, TV series, and more. And joining me today are Father Cory Stika. Hi, Father.
Howdy, Jack.
And Lisa Jones. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Jack.
And Victor Lambs. Hey, Victor.
Hi, Jack.
Today on Secrets of Stargate, we are going to be discussing the 13th episode of Season 2 of SG-1, Spirits. Do you want to give us a rundown of this episode, Victor?
Yes, panic at the SGC as a heavy metal arrow shoots through the Stargate and impales Jack's arm. SG-1 visits PX-4887 without Jack in the hopes of locating the missing SG-11, who had been there mining the rare mineral trinium. SG-11 is nowhere to be found, but SG-1 finds the incredibly chill Tanane, a descendant of a tribe of indigenous Canadians, the Salish. Salish. I find some Salish in that pronunciation. Anyway, Tanane introduces SG-1 to Zales, a raven, and to Kaya, a wolf, neither of whom are in favor of having their planet strip mined by the humans. But after flattering the wolf, SG-1 is led to the missing SG-11, and everyone travels back through the gate, including Tanane, who is interested in learning more alternative mining techniques, or growing techniques. I wasn't really sure about that. Things back on Earth are not as they seem, however. General Hammond reveals to an indignant SG-1 the NID's plan to mine the trinium without the Salish's consent. It turns out that SG-11 are really members of a super advanced race of shape-shifting alien creatures from the Black Lagoon who are the protectors of Tanane's people. By clapping their arms, they are able to make everyone in the SGC vanish except for Jack and Daniel. Fortunately, Jack is able to convince the aliens not to destroy the SGC and to zap everyone back, including SG-11. And to instead disable their Stargates so that the Salish can live in peace without further interference.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. What were your thoughts on this episode, Father?
There's much I liked because it was fun. The parts I really don't like.
Yeah.
Like, say, I don't know who that General Hammond was, but that was not the General Hammond of the rest of the series. Yeah, that was that I didn't like. I liked how the Native American part was handled, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I liked the idea of the shape-shifting aliens and all that. I just did not like General Hammond in this at all.
Yeah, they kind of needed to fly in a straw man there and to move along the plot. And it is kind of like, you know, in a Shakespeare play where in a tragedy where somebody overhears something, you know, it is very contrived, you know, how it all happens. And that kind of felt that way too. It's like they just needed something so that the aliens could overhear the plans to mine the planet.
If only they had a certain character we saw recently, a certain character who is the exact kind of person would tell them that the Pentagon is expecting them to mine more. Somebody like I don't know, Mayborn.
That would have been awesome. That would have made the whole episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they just had they couldn't get him back for this episode, so they just it almost felt like they had that part written for Mayborn, and then they couldn't schedule him, and so they just had Hammond say his lines, and it felt really out of character.
Yep.
What about you, Lisa?
That was my major takeaway, that was not General Hammond, and I mean, one of the few times you really don't like him. And I guess we can talk about how I know, Jack, you always say sometimes you like it when there's consequences to their actions. But in this episode, the SGC is basically caught doing something that, has consequences. And they, we talked about the whole, it's Native American and they're trying to take away, parts of their land behind their back and force them out. And I mean, it's, so it was, I don't know. The whole episode was one that I'd kind of forgotten about. I hate to say that, but it, better on rewatch, but still probably not terribly memorable for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. What about you, Victor?
Yeah, I think this was a lot better on rewatch. I didn't really remember this from, my first time through the series. And I think it would have been an unbearable slog if it wasn't for Tanane and kind of like the spin they put on him. And this episode was written by Tor Alexander Valenza, and he is probably his best known episode. He's written 9 for SG1 is Ergo. And so it's somebody who can write like a very good comedic character and just kind of insert him into a story. And I mean, like I said, Tanane is about, as a character, about as far as you can get from, any sort of stereotypical character. And I just loved him. His lines, his line readings, everything. It just livened everything up, or made it more mellow, one or the other.
Yeah, I was not a particularly big fan of this episode because I felt like it kind of just did that trope that you see over and over again, where you have like the Native Americans who are getting oppressed by whatever the main like characters like faction is. Like you have this exact same thing happen in Star Trek, where they have that literal planet where they of the Native American tribes where they want to move them off because the Cardassians are taking over. And I felt like it's just that same kind of trying to like tell a message, but not even trying to like the whole. I feel like with science fiction, like the whole point is a lot of the times you will tell these kinds of stories, but you'll do it allegorically. And with this, or with that episode of Star Trek, I can't remember the name of it. They just go straight for the message without even trying to write around it. I do agree with you, Victor, though. I like that Tanane was not like, he didn't come across as like the very self-serious, wise, spiritual character that a lot of the times the Native American character will get cast as, kind of like how Chakotay is, which is just very annoying and probably not accurate at all. I do like how he,
Chakotay, I would say, offensive. I mean, and it's interesting too, because this episode aired along with, the first few seasons of, this would probably be season 3 or 4 of Voyager, I think. And, we're rewatching Voyager, and Chakotay has a line where, he's trapped and he's like, oh, you're just your luck. You get trapped with the only Indian who can't start a fire by rubbing 2 sticks together. Yeah. And I mean, that's just inexcusable on like every level, and what I do appreciate about this episode is that they picked, a tribe, the Salish or Salish, and
Salish, yeah.
Sorry, I was watching it with captions, and settled on that. And I do appreciate too that the way that the tribe had worked trinium into their ceremonial outfits and art and architecture as well. So I think that they did a really good job setting a place and a culture specific, rather than just generic Native American too, which is I think a trap a lot of the other shows fall into.
Right. Of course, not a coincidence. The Salish tribe is from Western Washington and British Columbia. Gee, what on earth? Why would Western British Columbia be important for this show? Oh, wait, it's the tribe where they filmed. Although I will give them great credit that the first elder to speak was an actual Salish chief.
Oh,
he was a chief of a band of the Salish tribe. So that actually, I mean, give them credit, is all as far as at least the named characters within this in the show, all of them were Native American. The actors were Native American. Now, Tanane was Omaha, Nebraska, from down, Flatlander tribe. But still, they were actually Native Americans that were playing these parts. So that, unlike certain shows way back in the past where it's, a white person that's that's wearing, shoe polish basically to
right,
to play a Native American. So,
and there's something else that I like they did in this episode, which subverted what I thought was going to happen. Is when you see the aliens who have been standing in as the spirit deities of the tribe, they're all like blonde white people, and which at first I was kind of annoyed with because it felt like the exact same thing they've done. They did that in Voyager where Chakotay meets his spirit tribe, and it's all a bunch of white people. But in this, it's the aliens were impersonating the deities, so they kind of they had a story explanation for why they were the aliens rather than it just being kind of very tone deaf. I felt like how they did in Voyager, so I liked that it did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate their silver jumpsuit dress, things. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was very retro sci-fi. And the prosthetic gill noses, that was really well done. Like they had some sort of pneumatics or something that the gills would inflate in sequence or something. And it was, you didn't see any big tubes like running down the sides of the actors' faces and stuff. So I thought that was really well done.
It was kind of gross.
Yeah, that was some good makeup work.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first appearance of Alex Zahara in Stargate. I think he's been in 8 or 11 different episodes, usually plays an alien under heavy makeup until we get to 1969 where he gets to not have makeup on, but it was good to see him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll that's the next time we'll see him in about 5-6 weeks, but 5-6 episodes, we'll get to that one. And yeah, he looks like a hippie there. So
yeah.
Nice.
I thought we already saw him a few times. Did we not?
Yeah, because I think we mentioned. Yeah, I may have mentioned it. Or yeah.
Let's see. I was looking through the list, and I don't remember if there's. Yeah, this at least according to the Stargate fandom, this is the first time he's had a major role, anyways.
Yeah, and both he and was it Christina Cox or who plays Takaya? They were both on Andromeda, so just thought I'd put that out there as well.
She's also a repeat actor for Stargate. She shows up later in Sentinel as a different character. And did we talk about Captain Connor?
No, he's back. Roger Cross.
He got a promotion. So I think after...
Yeah. No longer lieutenant. He's...
Yeah, after First Commandment and everything that went down in that episode, and then, disappearing, being possessed by a spirit or whatever happened to him, we don't see him again, and I'm wondering, did he just be like, this is not the job for me? I'm done.
Don't know. Yeah, of course, it's after this we start getting, the 50,000 SG teams too. So
yeah, and I don't know where the fish people dink bewitched the people away.
I thought that was the Wonder Woman power bracelet, smacking the arms together.
Want to fish people? Yeah, I don't know where they went to, but if it wasn't a pleasant place, then Captain Connor may decide to quit after that.
Yeah. GC, post me somewhere else. Let's go Antarctica. Because I think it would have been nice. They had him twice. I think he would have been a nice recurring character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their whole arm gesture thing made me think of the stand-in they do for the less than polite gesture in Friends.
Yes, yes, exactly. I thought of that too.
That was the first thing I thought of. Nice.
Although the zap away effect was actually really well done. It was like, lightning flash and then they go brrr, and they disappear.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. Yeah, I like that.
Of course, you get the last scene where they all show up in the gate room. They all materialize in the gate room and they're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
It's like the end of the Muppet movie or something where they're all, except they're not singing in the Rainbow Connection. But
that would have been
so fun. We hinted at it, but I think we should probably mention it. The whole issue of the government and the tribes, because that was. And of course, that's the thing that we all immediately this is not how Hammond would act in the face of this. But it's instead of respecting the Native Americans and respecting their hold on that land, it's like, oh no, we're going to wait till they migrate and then we'll take their stuff. We'll have a treaty with them and then we just wait until they disappear. And it's just like, yeah, that didn't work in the 1800s so well.
Well, that's very anti-Hammond.
Yeah.
I mean, what we've seen of Hammond so far, and even what we see in the future, he would have been the one picking up the red phone saying, this is not okay. But in this one, he's the one putting the hammer down saying, we're going to follow orders this time. And this is what we're doing, which just really grated at me.
And don't you dare argue with me about it either.
I feel like they did a lot in this episode to just get both Jack and Hammond just out of the way of the plot. And I wonder, did they film this in an off week for everybody and they just had a few people available?
I did read online.
Because Jack gets hit with the air. Yeah.
Richard Dean Anderson, this is when his daughter was born. And so he did have time off to go. I think she was LA. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the internet said.
Yeah. Well, they might have saw this too as a chance to obviously get Captain Carter up in command. I love that line. First command. Cool.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
And she does really well too. I mean, she negotiates the release of SG-11 and leaves open the mining rights. It feels like a Star Wars crawl at this point, mining rights in dispute. Or something like that. SG-1 visits. Yeah.
But I did love her face, being perplexed. He's talking to the dog. I mean, the wolf or what, husky, whatever. And and he's like, flattery. She's like, what big eyes you have. And it just
yeah.
That was good.
And the raven pops up and goes, oh, and Daniel's like, oh no, I heard that didn't he say, that you should release our people, right, Teal? Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
He's like, he said he'd think about it. Yeah.
And Sam goes, yeah, that's what I think I heard too. And I love her reaction because she's Miss Science. Everything is science and empirical evidence and everything. And it's like, yeah, I'm talking to a dog.
Love his response with, but you can't see the wind, yet it's there.
Yes.
You saw her face oh, you got
I thought that was kind of like I've heard this argument before.
Yeah. And then he said, all we are is dust in the wind, man. Just dust in the wind. Part of Tanane's charm is that he seems to be 100% high 100% of the time.
I love that. It's like, I like to travel.
Yeah.
Talking about going through the Stargate. I like to travel.
I couldn't tell if his character is supposed to be funny or...
Oh, definitely,
It just was so odd. I couldn't put my finger on it.
I will say I have met Native Americans who maybe they're not quite that stoner. Have definitely kind of that laid back outlook on life. Can we have our weapons? Okay. It's like, whatever. You're not going to use them on me, so that's fine.
Yeah, I really appreciated how laid back he was about everything. Even when they reveal that the spirits were actually these aliens, he's just like, okay, cool. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Zales.
Does this mean I can go home now?
Yeah.
A little different than Thor.
Zales, is that you? Yeah.
Who was it? Garwin when she met Thor, with real Thor.
Yeah.
She had a totally different response.
Yep.
Yeah. Zales, is that you? Yeah, that was one of my favorite lines in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it would have been a dreary episode without our friend Tanane there.
Yeah.
What about Dr. Warner?
Well, then
yeah, hero. He saved the SGC.
Yeah.
Action Warner. Yeah. No, I was going to mention him next. Yeah, he sprung into action, hit the alarm, and without that, there wouldn't be a show anymore.
All right.
Yeah. Let's go, Dr. Warner.
Yep. Well, then you got Daniel. Tanane, I'm going to show you some place in the facility that no one ever sees. This is a storeroom. This is where we store the things that we might possibly need. And he picks up a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah. He says, we're going to go look for Jack. He's not in here.
Yeah.
And I like Jack's response to Daniel when he comes in and he says, "Are you actually you?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
It's like, or
That was
what?
good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel's like, what? Okay.
Yeah. It's like, nope, that's definitely you. I also got kind of vibes of the thing with the wolf or the husky just wandering around the SGC. I was expecting for it to like explode into some 1980s body horror.
I don't know about that, but apparently, and I didn't catch this, at around the 34-minute mark, you can see like the wolf handler's hand on the animal, but I didn't, or in the shot at least. But
Yeah, I missed it too. Yeah, I missed that too.
Well.
Giving it like a hand command or whatever.
And I had young Frankenstein flashbacks when Teal'c was like, "Wolf," and then Daniel's like, "Where?" It's like, "Werewolf." There, wolf.
Yeah, there, wolf. Yeah.
Oh, what about the naming?
Nice. Yeah.
Where Tanani asks their name and Carter lists off her whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "That's a long name."
Yeah. And he finally figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
Jack. It's
And he
like,
calls him
yes.
George.
Yep.
Yeah.
George, yeah. Yeah, like he introduces himself as a Colonel Jack O'Neill. He's like, "Hey, Jack."
Yep. Well, and Daniel, Dr. Daniel Daniel Jackson. Doc? Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel gets like the weirdest line is like when they first arrive on the planet and Teal'c is like, "I thought I heard someone," and Daniel goes, "Ghosts?"
Yeah.
Like, ghosts? Like, where do you get ghosts from?
Well, the episode is
Come on, Daniel.
Spirits, so maybe
Yes.
Daniel knew that.
Yeah, but I mean, but they can't see what's written on the screen, right? Only we can
Yeah.
see that.
Or can they?
Now,
Or can
now, of
they?
course, you have Wonder Daniel here, who knows everything when he needs to know everything.
Yeah.
Like he knows all about the Salish tribe and can read what the totem pole says, and that it says that they were brought there from, by a Gwauld, Jaffa and everything. And it's like, you're an Egyptologist. There are no similarities between Egyptology and Native American studies.
He's like Teal'c. He knows
Well-
everything when he needs to know everything.
Yeah,
He's powered by plot.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, but when he told Carter, like, be prepared, they're probably going to want you to dance and do stuff. Seriously, I just wanted her to like go up and just like give him a little slap. I'm having
Yeah.
emancipation
Yeah.
flashbacks, right?
Yeah.
They're going to want you to dress up. It's okay,
Well, and of course, Tanani's response, "Oh yeah, my great grandfather used to dance and sing for the spirits. Now they just told us to call him by name."
Yeah.
That should have been a clue that it was aliens, right?
Yep. Very pragmatic.
I did like on the totem. It had one of the layers of the totem was a raven eating a Gould symbiote, which I thought was kind of cool. So you have the Jaffa on the bottom, but then right above the Jaffa you have like the little red symbiote and like the raven
Yes.
like chowing down on
I
it.
guess I
So
just thought it was a snake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
but yeah, I mean, so this hinges on the fact that like they want to get more trinium out of the mountain by mining it, and the Salish people are saying no, just get it out of the stream when the mountain washes it down, and they're saying no, that could never be enough. But the people there have entire huge buildings made out of it, right? They have that
Yeah.
fibrous, woven, and that's what the walls are made out of. They have entire totem poles made out of it. They have huge pieces of art and just, use it in their tools and stuff. So there's got to
Their
be a lot
weapons.
coming down. Yeah, there's got to be a lot coming down in the stream. Right?
And of course, it's not,
Maybe.
it's
Maybe
not
they
really
had,
coming down the
like,
stream. It's, sorry, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe there was like a deposit of it when they arrived there, and
Maybe, yeah.
because they hadn't been collecting it before, and then since they used all of that, they're just waiting for more to come down. I don't know.
And the aliens are probably washing it down, quote unquote. Namely, so they mentioned that they're migratory as so many Native American tribes were, and so they go off during the winter, and the spirits, the aliens, they deposit a whole bunch in the water, ready to go. So. Oh yes, it washed down.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
The aliens are very accommodating too. I did like at the end where they're like, "So, does this mean I have to be a dog again?" And and Tanane's like, no, I mean, just whatever makes you happy. And she's like, great, this makes me happy.
Yeah.
Not being a dog.
Yeah.
She wants to rock her feathered hair.
Yeah.
Although for the time, that effect of going to and from the dog was impressive.
Right.
I mean, for the time, for a TV show, not a movie, that was a pretty impressive morph effect.
Yeah.
And they did it a couple times.
Considering they didn't want it.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dr.
Nothing
Warner
will
also
ever
did a
top,
very good. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say nothing will ever top an American Werewolf in London though for dog transformations.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. They don't have a 7-minute John Landis transformation scene like they did in that, and then in Thriller as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but here's another advanced alien species who's like, we don't want you to be there. And Jack's all like, well, just get rid of your gate. And they're like, oh, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
like
use
like
your use your super advanced metal and make an iris out of it. Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah.
Because eventually the iris does. They do make the iris out of trinium later.
Oh, nice.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I feel like
I love
just shutting down
we have
your
no
gate on
use.
your.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guess maybe we should bury it. We have no use for space travel after all. Yeah.
Then get rid of it, or better yet, give it to us. And I mean, they don't have a way of bringing it back yet, but
No.
Give it to us. We're good.
I feel like closing the iris or shutting down your gate is kind of the fix it for most of the problems on these planets. That if they acknowledge that too freely in the plot, it would kind of shut down the premise of the show.
Yeah.
And then we have to jump back to this was a gold planet, and these aliens they give us a really good explanation as to who they were, how they fought the Gould and took over the planet, and because again, hello, we need help, we need allies.
Yeah, maybe teach us how to do that, like arm thingy.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Apophis. Gone.
Yeah, I like Jack saying SG-11 is bopping around, waving their arms, making our people disappear.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, they are.
I do with SG-11 and all the other SG teams that get mentioned offhandedly, going to the different planets after SG-1 or having to get rescued by SG-1. I kind of want a lower deck style show about like the cleanup for the SG teams. It has to go in behind everyone else and like fix these problems once SG-1's gone through.
Could lead it.
Let's hear about SG-20. Let's hear about SG-20. Yeah.
That'd be good. Awesome. Did y'all have any other thoughts about this episode?
No comments here.
One little trivia tidbit that we're gonna have a reference back to this episode and a couple of episodes in Show and Tell.
Ah.
Oh, nice.
Something evidently happens in this episode that we don't see, that we're gonna find out about in episode 20 of the season.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't remember what that is, so it'll be a nice surprise for me as well.
Yes.
The episode's called Show and Tell.
Cool.
Nice. What about you, Victor?
We get a really good look at the graphical user interface of their field laptops and their email program, so I thought that was nice.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
It was very
good continuity between the email too, where he's like, I am, putting in a requisition request for, and then it doesn't say YARG or anything. It's just the email cuts off. And then when they meet the fake, Roger Cross, he says, I was just putting in a requisition request for more blasting caps and stuff. So
yeah.
I thought that was a nice continuity between, the in-world skeuomorphic, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true. Awesome. Before we go, we'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create Secrets of Stargate, including Susan D., Dominic S., Celestis M., Kiana C., and Andrea S. Their generous donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue the Secrets of Stargate and all the shows at StarQuest. You can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. Be sure to follow us in the show in Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or on the SQPN YouTube channel. To find previous episodes of Secrets of Stargate and to send feedback, please visit sqpn.com/Stargate. And you can email us at stargate@sqpn.com or follow StarQuest on social media at facebook.com/StarQuestMedia or on Twitter at SQPN. You can also join the StarQuest Fan Club mailing list by texting StarQuest to 66866. Send StarQuest to 66866. We'll be back next time when we'll be discussing the next episode of SG-1. Until then, Father Cory, thank you for joining me and sharing the Secrets of Stargate.
Thank you, Jack.
And Lisa Jones, thank you as well. And Victor Lambs, thank you too.
Thanks, Jack, and it's time to show the Earthlings the power of the spirits.
And once again, I'm Jack Barazini. Thank you for listening to The Secrets of Stargate on StarQuest.
Anyway, I'm sorry, but that just happens to be how I feel about it. What do you think?
Hi, everyone. This is Dom Bettinelli, CEO of StarQuest, with a special message as we approach the Christmas season. This past year, the StarQuest network has continued to expand our mission of exploring the intersection of faith and pop culture through our many entertaining and informative programs. Now we need your generous financial support to reach new audiences with more of the life-changing and uplifting programming we've been creating for more than a decade. That's why it's very important that we hear from you this Advent and Christmas, the time when nonprofits receive most of their support for the year. If you are already a supporter of StarQuest, we thank you and ask you to prayerfully consider increasing your support at this time. If you're not yet a supporter, please become one now. Every gift counts. Could you give $15 or even just $10 per month? Whatever level of support you can offer, please show your support for SQPN this Christmas. And remember that your gifts may be tax deductible. Just go to sqpn.com/give. That's sqpn.com/give. May God bless you this Advent, and may you have a blessed Christmas season.